Hey guys, Tonis here, back at you with another Raid World War II video. What a surprise, am I right? But yeah, after I released my last video, a lot of shit has happened. For example, when I posted it on Reddit, a user named SiegeWolf said he was at Pax and played the game and was willing to answer some questions. So I asked him some questions, and we already know what the classes are: Recon, Assault, Demolitionist, and Infiltrator. But we also learned that instead of, like, I'm guessing, deployables, we have war cries, which are basically special abilities. And he said that Recon basically gets to highlight enemies and snaps to heads. Like, you get aimbot auto aim for a couple of seconds for a bit, and then Assault apparently gets unlimited ammo for a bit. So it's basically Swan Song, but without you dying. SiegeWolf himself played Recon and Assault, which had an M1 Garand, so Recon, and then a Thompson for the Assault. Then he also mentioned some special things that the enemies can do. Like, for example, there's a new special enemy that we haven't seen in Payday, or yeah, because that's the only game they've made right now. Still waiting on Overkill's The Walking Dead. Overkill, where is it? But yeah, we have a new special enemy called the Commander, which is pretty simple. He makes more troops spawn until he is killed, so I'm guessing he's gonna be a nuisance. If the AI is built so they protect the Commander, then he could really be a nuisance. And maybe if the Commander is hiding somewhere. So yeah, he could be a nuisance, but he could also become another Captain Winters, which is just, yeah, we don't talk about Captain Winters. Then he said we still have our good old snipers, so I'm happy about that. They're basically, like, it makes sense that the snipers are still here, but it's still nice to know that. It's nice to get a confirmation, you know. And then, something that really intrigued me. Apparently, the enemies can call in mortar strikes. Apparently, how this works is, I don't know, he didn't mean, like, I don't know if it's a special enemy or if it's just normal Nazis that do it. But basically, they place a flare somewhere on the map or throw it, and you have a set period of time to destroy that flare. Otherwise, there's gonna be a mortar strike on that area for a set amount of time. So basically, it's just area denial from the enemies. But yeah, that's what we got out of Reddit. Then I also emailed the LAN Game LAN again about modding. You know, just to be safe, because a lot of people really like modding. I like modding, and I want modding to be in Raid World War II. Simple enough. And Elias said that they really aren't ready to talk about modding yet. Their intention, however, is to open up as much for the modding community as they can. If that happens on release or after release, however, he cannot tell me. He cannot answer at this point. So they want to support modding really closely, so that is really nice. Maybe we'll get actual modding tools, considering this is the last game to run on Diesel. So there is a possibility of that happening. But yeah, let's move on to the third video where we got some more, I guess, yeah, info, which is the Rusty Change video, where they also went to PAX and played the game. Sadly, they didn't get any fucking gameplay, so that sucks. But yeah, so they also played Assault and Recon, but then they said, went into more detail, I guess. Well, not really. The Assault, again, had a SMG. He didn't specify, but well, knowing SiegeWolf said it's a Thompson, it's probably going to be a Thompson. And looking at some pictures and footage I got from the Geeky Panda blog. There also might have been some computers that might have been running an assault class that instead had a stun gun, but I really can't say at this point because maybe the stun gun was for the infiltrator, but we really don't know at this point. And the assault secondary was a Mauser when he was running a Thompson. The recon had a sniper, so an M1 Garand, but I don't know if that is considered a sniper. To my knowledge it isn't, but I don't know, maybe you gun nuts can tell me if it is a sniper. Highly appreciate that. And then he was running a 1911. And then, well, he didn't talk about the demolitionist. Well, the demolitionist, looking at some screenshots, is running an Ithaca and what looks to be a Mauser again. And then he talks about the grenade mechanics, which we have already seen in the E3 gameplay, as the grenade isn't thrown instantly. You, on your second hand, you count down until the explosion, so you can time it to explode right on impact as you throw it at some enemy. But it can, but this we didn't know about, it can also be used as a melee, which is really interesting. And while meleeing, it also has a really small chance of exploding, so it'll deal a lot of damage to you and the enemy. So you can basically Allahu Akbar, I guess. That's a thing now, apparently. That was a really bad joke. Okay. Then he also said that while that a meter that he thought was for the armor apparently was the stamina meter. So it seems we're gonna get stamina. Gonna get a stamina meter now. That's pretty nice. And from looking at some screenshots, it seems there isn't armor for us. But I'll talk about HUD in a bit. He also said there was no voice in his ear, like Bane telling him what to do. Everything, all the objectives, was communicated through the characters and by the characters. And for example, when he killed, you know, a special enemy, and he said like, "Flame her down." Another character remarked like, "That was a bad joke. Don't say that again." And characters also yell out when they're reloading. So there's a lot more character speech, I guess. So that's really nice, cause you know, brings back that Payday the Heist nostalgia. Bane. But then he talked about the gameplay itself, how it felt. He said the raid gameplay felt a lot slower, because reloads takes longer. Then sprinting through firefights isn't really viable. You actually need to use cover. So to me it sounds like the game is a lot more like Payday the Heist, which in all honesty I like, because like he said himself, Payday 2 is, compared to Raid, is really arcadey. Well, Raid seems to be a lot more skill-based, I guess you would say that. Then he also mentioned that Wipe is apparently higher quality, so I guess maybe people will actually talk once in Raid. So that's cool, I guess. I've never heard anyone use Wipe in Payday. So yeah, that's a thing, I guess. But then he went to talk again about the gameplay, about how enemies really don't drop a lot of ammo, and the drops themselves are rare. So instead of trying to feed on the enemy ammunition, you're gonna look around the maps for supply crates, which are scattered around everywhere. You open them, and they'll have ammo, health, and grenades. And then again he said interaction animations, which we already saw in E3, kind of. And then my favorite thing that he said in the video. Ladders are still weird, because, you know, diesel engine, and we can't do ladders, because ladders are hard. He also said that while talking to Ilya said that lockpicking is a lot different, as instead of it just being hold F, you actually need to do like a mini game. I'm gonna put some footage on it on the screen, because this was shown at another convention. I don't remember what it was, but I'll put it on screen. And then he also mentions another special enemy that we haven't heard of, the heavy gunner, who uses MG42 and I'm guessing is gonna wear some kind of armor like the bulldozer does. And apparently it took all of the players working together to kill it. So while this was on easy mode, this already tells me that the game is gonna require a lot more teamwork, which is really nice. Then he also talked about the war cries, but I think he made a mistake, because he said Assault has a war cry which makes grenades split into smaller grenades like a cluster grenade. But in the Kiki Panda blog's interview with one of the devs, the dev there said that war cry is the demolitionist war cry. So I'm gonna quote that the developer knows more about their game, so sorry Rusty Change, but you got some info wrong. And then he also said that the war cry for recon is auto aim, which can be upgraded to snap to hearts and heads. So when he mentioned upgrading, I'm gonna guess there is gonna be some kind of leveling system with maybe some kind of skill tree. So payday. But then again, in the interview that the Geeky Panda blog did with one of the LGL devs, he said that progression system does exist, but it's really not an RPG. So I'm gonna guess you can, like, so there's gonna be some kind of leveling, maybe some kind of upgrading, but we're really not sure, because we haven't seen any of that stuff. And something that also really stuck out to me, every carryable loot will have a unique bag model. So for example, the gold is basically a box of gold that is strapped onto your back, which is really cool. No more duffel bags, guys. No more duffel bags. And the last thing really important is that the engine has been reworked a lot, so performance was apparently a lot better. That is really nice, because we all know the diesel engine is bad, even though I wouldn't totally agree on that, because it's not that bad. It's bad, but it's not that bad. But yeah, that's everything I got out of Rusty Chains' video. Then the interview from the Kiki Panda blog, we got some more info about the actual group, like how they got together and such. Basically, I guess this is word for word basically, but they're a ragtag group of misfits who got in trouble with the Nazis, so they were captured. They got freed by Mrs. White, who works for the British Secret Service. Basically, she is willing to give them all their freedom, but to earn their freedom, they need to do some favors for her. So basically, the missions that White gives, like, I'm guessing the flag tower, go fucking destroy those AA guns. They're kind of not helping with the entire assault that we are doing. Please destroy them. So you do them. But then he also says that the game isn't only surrounding around Mrs. White. That some of the missions you do are for yourself, to just get rich. And apparently the bridge demo that was played at Pax East is one of the missions that they do for themselves, just to get rich, because train with gold is pretty expensive. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that equals into, you know, money. And then he also talked a bit about the war cries, mentioning what the demolitionists Warcry is, and that playing your role right fills up your Warcry meter. I really don't know what this means. Like, I'm gonna guess that just getting kills is gonna fill it up a bit as well, but maybe like doing specific things that only you can do. Like, maybe, like, yeah, I really don't know how to interpret this. Maybe it's like, oh, as a demolitionist, if you get kills with fucking explosives, you fill it up faster. Or maybe if you do, as that class, do that class specific objective, which makes it go faster, you get your Warcry meter filled up faster. But yeah, it's really hard to say. But then we also got the Steam announcement. There wasn't really anything interesting in there. Really, the only thing that was interesting is they mentioned that limbs the only interesting thing they mentioned there is that limbs are able to be shot off. So fucking gore. That's cool. Gore. I guess more problems for Germany getting the game. But yeah, last thing is gonna be the HUD, which looks nice. I really like it. It's pretty clean. In the bottom right, you have the weapons displayed, and with their ammo count underneath them, which is really nice. It's really clean. Then in the top right we have the objective, like telling you what the objective is. Bottom left is your status bar. You have your health circle, as mentioned by Rusted Chains, which is probably the stamina bar. Maybe in that we have the Warcry meter, and then under the health bar you can see the items you have. Like here you can see that he has a parachute and explosives for doing the objective. And then in the top left we see all of the other players' health and equipment and stuff like that, and we also noticed that the players have a skull in their stamina circle thing. But yeah, that's all I could fucking get out of this. Not a lot of gameplay, but yeah, I'm guessing they're gonna release some gameplay really soon. But yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe or something, like the video, dislike it, I don't know. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.